friends, I polished his expensive shoes, but he threw mud on my dignity in front of the whole village. But what he didn't know was this: the shine on shoes fades with time, but when a stain falls on someone's character, Allah sometimes takes away a person's most precious thing to wipe it away. My name is Idris. I am a 22-year-old ordinary boy whose dreams were always bigger than his circumstances. Our village was far away from the glitter of the city. Life there was simple and slow. My father, who was a farmer, had passed away a few years ago, and after his death, the entire responsibility of the house fell on my shoulders. At home, there was my sick mother and my younger sister. The dreams in my sister's eyes had become my biggest purpose in life. I had completed my intermediate education, but in a small village there were hardly any job opportunities. So every morning I sat under an old banyan tree in the main village square, polishing people's shoes. The work was small, but in my eyes, no work done for halal earnings is ever small. Every morning I carried my wooden box, brushes, and polish, and I prayed, "Oh Allah, bless today's earnings so I can buy medicine for my mother and books for my sister." I was poor, but I was not helpless. I lived with patience and gratitude. And then there was Sarah. Sarah was the 25-year-old only daughter of Chaudhry Sikandar, the richest landlord in the village. Her life was the complete opposite of ours. She was educated in the city, but education had given her arrogance instead of manners. She lived in the village like a princess among servants. She drove a shiny red car from the city and sped through the dusty village roads as if she were driving over the chests of poor people. Her clothes, her perfumes, everything about her screamed wealth and pride. She hated poor people, their sweat, their clothes, even their presence. To her, we weren't humans, we were insects. One hot afternoon, while I was polishing shoes in the square, a red car stopped near me, raising a cloud of dust that covered my box and clothes. Sarah stepped out. She looked at her white expensive shoes and noticed a little dust on them. "Hey boy, come here," she said with disgust. "Yes, madam," I replied politely. "Clean my shoes, now." I quietly knelt down and carefully polished them. When I finished, she took out 100 rupees, crumpled it into a ball, and threw it on the ground toward me. "Take it, that's your worth." The note fell near my feet. More than the note, my dignity had fallen to the ground. People around us watched silently. Some looked sad, some helpless. I bent down, picked up the note, straightened it carefully, and placed it in my pocket without saying a word. Then I went back to my seat. My silence burned her pride. She expected me to beg or get angry, but I stayed quiet. From that day onward, humiliating me became her daily entertainment. Every day she passed the square and found new ways to insult me. Sometimes she purposely drove her car through mud and then ordered me to clean her shoes. Sometimes she laughed and said, "People like you belong under shoes." One day she came with her rich friends. They surrounded me and started recording videos. Sarah laughed and said, "See, I told you, village people are like animals, no self-respect at all." One of the girls said while filming, "Hey shoeshine boy, smile for the camera." Then Sarah kicked my polish box and all the polish spilled on the ground. "Oh, sorry," she said mockingly. "Now you have nothing to work with. Dance and sing for us. Maybe we'll give you some money." Tears filled my eyes. I said softly, "I may be poor, but I'm not without dignity. I would rather starve than sell my respect." That sentence made her furious. "You dare talk about dignity to me?" she shouted. After that day, things became worse. She hired some local thugs to harass me. They robbed my earnings and even started teasing my younger sister on her way to school. I fought them and got beaten badly, but I would never allow anyone to touch my sister's honor. Then life brought a bigger disaster. My mother's health suddenly worsened. One night she struggled to breathe, so we rushed her to the small village hospital. The doctor examined her and said something that shook my world. "Idris, your mother's heart valve is very weak. She needs emergency bypass surgery within a week." "How much will it cost?" I asked with trembling lips. "At least 500,000 rupees in a city hospital." 500,000 rupees. I earned barely a few hundred a day. I felt the ground slip beneath my feet. For days I begged people for loans. I sold everything we owned, but the money was nowhere near enough. I prayed to Allah every night. One evening, while I sat hopelessly outside the hospital, Sarah's red car stopped near me. She stepped out with a victorious smile. "I heard your mother is dying," she said casually, "and you need 5 lakh rupees." Then she said, "I can give you the money." My eyes filled with hope, but she added with a cruel smile, "On one condition. Tomorrow is Friday. After the Friday prayer, when the whole village gathers outside the mosque, you will stand on the mosque stairs with a sign around your neck saying, 'I am the biggest beggar in this village,' and you will beg from everyone until evening. My friends will record it. Do that, and the 5 lakh rupees are yours." That night I didn't sleep. One side was my mother's life. The other side was my dignity. In the end, I chose my mother. After Friday prayers, I stood on the mosque stairs with the sign around my neck. My hands were stretched out. "Please, give charity in the name of Allah." People stood shocked. Sarah and her friends laughed loudly. They filmed everything. Coins hit the ground with a painful sound. Each coin felt like it struck my soul. I stood there until sunset. Finally, Sarah gave me a briefcase with 5 lakh rupees. I took it and said calmly, "Thank you for helping me save my mother. But remember, honor and humiliation are in Allah's hands." My mother's surgery was successful. Meanwhile, Sarah uploaded the video online to mock me, but the video went viral. A human rights activist investigated the story and revealed the truth. Soon, the internet exploded with anger. The world saw Sarah as a cruel villain. News channels reported the story. Her father, Chaudhry Sikandar, was furious. To save his honor, he called a press conference. He publicly disowned Sarah and removed her from all his wealth. He also gave me additional money to start a business. Sarah lost everything. Her friends abandoned her. Her car, money, and house were taken away. For the first time in her life, she felt hunger and helplessness. She had to search for work like an ordinary person. But no one trusted her anymore. The girl who once laughed at a poor man begging now struggled for survival herself. Time changes everything. The poor man who begged for his mother's life gained respect, and the rich girl who insulted him lost everything. Because in the end, Allah's justice never fails.